Right. Unintentionally, I've ended up going on a trip down memory lane. I'm in East Barnet. Well, actually, I'm in Whetstone technically, but I'm next to East Barnet. I've just driven through East Barnet to get here to pick an item up. But it's weird how things work out, because just recently, the last day or two, I've been thinking about East Barnet, not knowing that I was eventually going to be sort of fated to come here today. And I was thinking about a lot of ruminating lately, a lot of reminiscing. I don't really know the reason for it. I am really a guy that I don't really live in the past, but I do reflect on memories quite often. And like my previous video, I don't know if it's up yet, but it will be up shortly, about past experiences and how you learn from them. But anyway, I'm going off topic now. So I'm in Whetstone, next to East Barnet, where I used to work. It used to be called East Barnet Village, and I used to work there for quite a few years. And I was a lot younger then. I was sort of early teens, really, very early teens, sort of 17, 18. And then I left there for a while, and then I went back to work there after, working at another place, at the same place I went back to. Anyway, there's a lot of relationships and lots of friendships that I'd built up over the years. And I had one particular friend called Dave who lived there, and he was a really good friend of mine back in the sort of mid-80s. And Dave was a colourful fellow, really, really good guy. A lot of fun to be with. And I was sort of, I guess, 17, 18 at the time, as was he. And I used to get the bus up to Freeham Barnet to visit him on a Saturday. Not every Saturday, but some Saturdays. And we'd go out and we'd do the usual things that lads of that age do. You go and have a couple of pints, you go around the record shops. Not that there are many of them left anymore, which is a sign of the times. I think, time does move on. But I was just reflecting, and I just passed the flat where he lived, and he'd come into my mind recently as well. And weirdly, all of a sudden I'm passing his flat and reminiscing about the times that we spent together as really good friends back in the sort of mid-80s. And also I had other friends that, a close-knit community in that village. The guy that I worked for owned the fruit and veg shop there. He also, he was a bit of a Barnet, or an East Barnet magnet. He'd come from quite a well-known Barnet family, and his family had built up a bit of an empire there. They owned all sorts of businesses there, and they had their fingers in other pies and other businesses that not necessarily owned by them, but they were part of. And I went by his house as well, where we used to go in every morning to pick up our job sheets for the day. And his brother lived next door. I think they're probably long gone now. I mean, back in the 80s, he must have been getting on for 80 then. So yeah, well gone, I would imagine. But it's just amazing, isn't it, how these things happen, that unintentionally, out of nowhere, these weird coincidences happen. I don't think they are coincidences. I think they're intentional. I think that they're, as I say, I think we're fated to experience these things. But it's made me again reflect upon the past times. And even though it seems to be not that long ago, it's it's a flicker of an eyelid, really. It's a blink, and then that time is gone. It's no more. But I look back, and it makes me wonder it makes me reflect on how quickly your youth goes, how quickly those heady days go. And that, even though my parents at the time said, oh, make the most of it, enjoy it, and don't wish your life away, because time goes very quickly, and particularly when you get to a certain age. And of course, as a youngster, I never really took much note. Yeah, whatever, that's, talking nonsense. But now I can see what they meant, because my parents themselves are been gone for a long time. And everything that they told me and everything that they said was absolutely true. And on reflection, it was bang on the money. And it's just got me thinking about those old relationships and my youth. Where did it go? Why did it was a bat of an eyelid, a flicker of emotion, and it was all behind me. Not that I'm being morbid, because this is life. This is what happens, and it happens to us all. We all get older, and we all, I guess, hopefully reflect upon those times. And I've got lots of happy memories, and they kind of sustain me. You know, I've got a lot of enjoyment from that time. But it does make one wonder, where does that time go? And how quick your youth can go. I used to go, I had a very close friend who sadly I'm no longer friends with. We kind of, not fell out. I think it was, we just kind of drifted apart as friendships do, but very close to him as well. And I'd known him since I was 17, and we kind of parted company in, I guess, our early 30s, mid 30s. And he moved on. He moved on and got married. He was married at the time, but he met somebody else and he got married again. And subsequently, he now lives, he lives in Norfolk somewhere. But I just think of those times, and for an example, I went into the old pub, which was a bit of a, I used to call it a venue. I guess it was loosely a venue, but we used to drink in there, and a whole network of friendships that we'd built up, and you know, girls that I'd been out with over the years and what have you. And then it seemed such a short time ago, and I went into that pub a few years back, and of course in my head I was still that young man of 22. But I walked in there, and the pub had changed hands over the years, and it had changed from a venue to a bit of a sort of a, I don't know, gastro pub, whatever. And of course in my head I was still 22, and I was looking around and I was thinking, bloody hell, this pub's full of kids. I've got to get out of here. This is driving me mad. There's loud music and kids banging into each other and all half cut and what have you. And then it dawned on me, it hit me that I was that age when I was in here, when it was my turn, that period of youth. And it had gone so quickly that I'd negated to realise that. I hadn't noticed that. But again, on reflection, great times. But you do often wonder where those people ended up. Some I know where they ended up, some I don't. Mostly I don't. But they were great times. Great times. Lots of enjoyment, lots of fun, as youth should be. But I'm no longer a youth. In here I am, and I will never change in here. And I guess we're all like that to some extent. And that's a good thing. You don't want to lose that. You don't want to lose that connection. You don't want to lose that, because I think if you lose that connection, if you lose that awe and that enjoyment, then you've kind of lost yourself. But again, I'm just reminiscing, and coming back here has brought all of these memories back. But you should never live in the past. You should always live in the present and look to the future. But live in the present, definitely, and enjoy what you've got, because different ages bring different experiences, and they bring different forms of enjoyment, and you have to enjoy every aspect of your life, definitely, because that's what we're here for. I do believe we're here to learn these lessons to make us better people. Definitely believe that. Anyway, I'm not going to bang on because it's gone on far too long anyway, me reminiscing and throwing back to the past. But yeah, so I hope you all have a good day, and I will speak to you very soon. Bye.